It has been a long time since I have filmed a video. Um, I don't know. I got inspired tonight. Excuse my pajamas. It is currently 11:30. And I just came across my old YouTube video on my bullet journal, and I wanted to talk about my new bullet journal because that's what I would like to talk about. So I'm just gonna do the same thing that I did 2 years ago, and that's just talk through my bullet journal with random things that don't make sense throughout the video. I was like, why were you talking about that in the middle of your sentence? I'm still all over the place. I still have my journal from that time. I've added some stickers to it. I always add the stickers after I'm done with my journal for some reason. Um, I think it's to kind of make sure the stickers stay as good of quality as they possibly can. So this is my old journal that I used up until last year, and then this is my current journal that I will show you that I got for 2022. So this is my Leuchtturm, 1997, right? 1917. You are familiar with this page. Lots of things have happened in this journal. Lots of things that now make me sad to look back on. Lots of unfinished pages. This one particularly one of my favorites, with a page all about this person that I had met. And it eventually had just basically kind of turned into a diary of some sort. I took it everywhere I went. Wrote my travel things in it. Things of that nature. Yeah, drew some things in there for when I had started painting pots. I was drawing my ideas in this book, and then eventually I kind of just wrote lots of things in here that I haven't read in a long time. This is from August 2021, so more than a year ago. And then when I started babysitting last year, I was going out to the park, and so I was really getting back into my bullet journal. And lots of unfinished pages. These were like tries of like letters I was writing people and things like that, so that I was not messing up. It was basically my drafts. And then October came, October went, then November came and went. I did not like that page at all, but I was having a rough mental time, and I was just drawing. So even though I don't like it, I respect where I was coming from with that. Trying to be less hard on myself. I do like how I always do have my little florals and plants all over the place. I'm a planty gal. Except my calathea that's fucking dying in the background, but let's ignore that, huh? And then I think after November I kind of stopped. My last page was another letter practice, and then that was it for my journal. It was then empty, and a lot of things went on throughout this journal. I had it for a year and a half, practically almost 2, and it was time to let it go. Time to let it live its journey on my shelf and pick up a new one. So that's what I did with the bullet journal of, what is this? 1 second, I don't even remember the brand of my own journal. I think it's no, it's a Leuchtturm still. I stuck with the Leuchtturm. It's the also Loistar 1917, but I got the bullet journal edition, which is really awesome because got lots of papers in here. It comes with a grid at the front, which is incredibly useful, and I refer to this every single time I start a new page. Specifically my monthlies, constantly referring back to this graph. And the color is really nice. It was either pink or black, and I didn't necessarily want the black one, but the pink definitely gets dirty pretty fast because it's such a light color. So I think in hindsight, I would rather get the black one. Plus it's classy, and I don't know, that's just something that I would rather do next time. So you know, got my name, my phone number. And then there's an intentions page which I never filled out, as well as the index, which I still haven't filled out. One thing that has not changed with me throughout my bullet journal journey is my indecisiveness and my lack of trust within myself, as well as my inability to decide what I want to do. So as you can see, I wrote out my future log, but it's in pencil and I never solidified it. Worked a long time on that. Probably took me a couple hours to map out everything. You know, it's not an easy task to count everything out and figure everything out, shit like that. So I could have solidified it in pen and used it, but I got too scared, so I didn't. Then I did my 2022 page, which I never drew. I'm trying to hold myself accountable by talking about this. Aveline, you know, in 2 years when you watch this video, I hope you have learned to trust yourself, learned to put pen on paper, and let go of the pencil. It's okay to make mistakes, you know? So yeah, I will try to fill this out before 2022 ends. January recap never happened because I ordered my journal and I think I got it at like mid-February. Then February I liked until I drew silly designs, but then again, like I said in my November page of 2021, I was not in a good mental space, and so I was learning how to be kinder to myself. And so that's, even though I don't like my drawings and I feel like they're childish and I don't think it goes well with my theme, because my bullet journal is something that is obviously really important to me since this has been something I've been doing since 2017. It is still a learning task for me because I don't like this. But when I was drawing these, I was literally telling myself, let your inner child go out on this page. And so I did, and I drew little dragonflies and butterflies and stupid little things. And even though I feel like it looks stupid, I know in that moment I was happy. And so that's just something that I have to remind myself. And so yeah, that's my habit tracker of February. Then February was nice. I liked my spreads. I feel like they were good. This is something that I've been keeping constant throughout my entire bullet journal, is my little calendar in the top right corner. And I liked my little flowers. Drawing is something that is important throughout my entire journal. I do it basically every page that I can. So yeah, February was good. I was keeping it going, you know. And then February came and left, and we hit March. And March is a month of an incredible amount of changes for me. March 1st, 2022 is the day I moved back to France. And so, So here I am in France. I moved back. Um, and so March 2022 was an incredibly rough time for me. I mentally, ever since my last video, um, everything has always been going up and down. But I've been doing a lot better now in October of 2022. March 2022 was a very low point for me, and so I kept it very simple. Still doing my habit tracker, but then if you look at this was completely empty until a couple weeks ago. This is what March 2022 looks like for me. Because I mapped out my entire month. I felt very productive. It helped me feel like I was going to be able to handle March. And then March came and I did not handle it. I ignored everything. I let it go. And because I had put my calendars in the top of the month, I had unfortunately blocked out these pages for March. And so here we are with unfinished pages that I still try to attack every once in a while. I take many pictures. Now that number from 95,000 from 2 years ago has grown to 165,000 photos on my phone. So I know what I was doing on March 23rd at 10 a.m. because I take pictures of everything. So that is something that I can go back and fill out, which I would like to do, because when we look at my 2020 and 2021 notebook, I hate having those empty pages. And it's not necessarily fun to look back on because I struggle a lot and I'm very honest and open, especially in my notebook, because it is kind of like my mini diary. It is still an important thing for me to be able to see my notebook be full. And so I want to go back and add those pages because it'll make me feel more fulfilled. It'll make me feel accomplished, and that's something I didn't have 2 years ago, are my tattoos. It's funny to see them. I never see myself in this angle, so that just caught me off guard. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna go back and finish March before the end of the year. I've got lots of things to finish in this notebook before the end of the year. But then April came, and April went, and it feels like I'm telling a story, like reading a storybook. But April was just an April recap. I did not do my habit tracker. I just wrote about my life, and May was a short one. I did not write many things. I was struggling very heavily. I was also in an abusive relationship during this time, so that was a very hard thing for me to go through. Not a good time, but here we are. I have persevered and gone through it, gone through the motions. I'm alive and kicking. The trauma's there, but we're working through it, girl. So then we hit June, and June was a much better time for me. Kind of. It got a lot better in July because I broke off that relationship. But I really like my June spread. I feel like it's fun, and I really like the blue theme that I had going through all of this. I had my expenses, which I gave up halfway through, and unfortunately left me another blank page. But I will not be going through and filling out my June expenses because I'm not going to go through my bank account to try to figure out what it was doing and when. That's just not... that page is going to be a bye-bye. But I really liked my spread for June. I had my work schedule right here, still the little calendar, and then I was doing my tasks, so I was filling out... I know it's backwards, so I'm kind of unfortunate, but there's no way for me to fix that, and I don't have a camera to film on. My Nikon is in America, so my MacBook's all I got. So I had the day, and then I like this date setup thing. I get all my inspiration from Pinterest or from myself and my old notebooks, as you will see later on. And then I started mapping out my mood, which is something I used to do in my very first notebook. This actually I started reading again today. This notebook has been with me every single day since 2020. No, what am I saying? 20, I think 17 or 18. Where's that one date I saw today? 2018. I think I've had this every day with me since junior year of high school. I'm almost at the very end. I might actually finish a notebook for once in my life. I'm right here, and I've got like this many pages left. It's not many, to be honest. I think I'll finish this in the next 6 months. This has got an incredible amount of history in it. And so, as you can see, I was doing this for a while when I was doing really bad mentally. I was going through lots of trigger warning. I should have put that at the beginning of this video. We knew we would get into this, but I was going through a lot of suicidal episodes and things like that, so I was mapping out my moods throughout my day. And it helped me kind of figure out what was going on when I would get triggered and things. Really good concepts, and just a really good thing for me to have had throughout my mental health journey. And I still try to have, except I don't have my triggers or list of things, which I think would be a really good thing for me to incorporate throughout my journal. So there's that. And then June, I kept going pretty consistently. I also started writing the positive things that were happening throughout the days, which is a good thing for me to keep going. So there we go. Then June. It's always the end of the month. I fucking let go at the end of every single month, and there is that. And then I always do brain dumps. I always have an incredible amount of things on my mind, and so when I'm not using my typewriter, right here, it's my bullet journal where I map out my brain. I just write and write. So unfortunately, I had also done a fucking brain dump right there that I did not finish because July came, and July was a fun one. It was little shapes and things, which I had done in my previous journal. I think it was August of 2021. Again, I was keeping this theme going with the day and my to-do lists, positives, things that were going on, and then again a brain dump. I have been keeping this system going for a while, and it really, really helps and really works for me. Obviously because I keep it going. I feel like I've really refined my bullet journal, especially in the last couple of years. Obviously this is something that's been going for me for a while, and so I've been able to figure out what works for me, what doesn't, and so this is something that really does work for me. But I'm still going through it and trying to figure out how I can maximize my bullet journal for me to work even more, because this is good, but it's not simple enough that I'll do it every single day. I have to really motivate myself to be able to do this. And so there's that. Again, fucking empty at the end of the month because I let go. Another brain dump, but I left this page empty, so if I need to go back and add something that isn't a brain dump or has anything to do with July, I can. Which, thank you, past Abilene, for doing that. And then August was a hard month because I was going through my abusive relationship. Again, trigger warning, I got sexually assaulted, and so the relationship was abusive in the sense that I was getting sexually assaulted for a couple months. And so August was a month of me processing my trauma, trying to figure out how I can live with it in cope with the things that were going on with me. And so August, I did a very simple spread. It's just the word August with flowers. And then I wrote an incredible amount of pages. It was basically like I literally just wrote out my chapter of August. It was a lot. I was writing. My screen just keeps freezing. I was writing. I think I wrote 16 pages. I wrote how many days? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was 6 days of writing. That led me to have 15 pages of thoughts and things that were going on. I also had fun adventures in August. Lots of fun adventures, actually. I went to Amsterdam. I went to Groningen, and lots of good things and positive things happened in August. So I wrote out a lot of positive feelings, but also negative feelings, and trying to process and go through the emotions of the things that were going on in my life and things that were happening to me. So yeah, and then September I kept very simple as well. I didn't really try. September was my last month of work, so I was working a lot, and I was also dealing with the fact that my job was ending, and so that was a stable point in my life that was coming to an end. So there's this, my habit tracker, and I don't know if you're curious, but the things that I have tracked in here are when I do my bullet journal, when I work, when I socialize, when I cook, when I don't drink alcohol, self-care, that one's private, when I walk 7,000 steps, and when I do my skincare. But I stopped doing my bullet journal for September. I did a calendar again, which I hadn't done, I think, since last year. I think my last calendar was April of 2020. April of 2020? That sounds really far away. I don't know. I don't do lots of calendars, and so this was a really good way for me with my work schedule to have a day-to-day life. Not very important. I don't have a lot of things going on. But with work, it was good to have that literally mapped out on my page right here. And then I had my to-do list down here because my September expenses I got on top of, and I'm really proud of myself for doing it. Because I went back to this system, which I started in February of 2020. And it was where I was basically writing out my entire day. And I really like this. It makes me feel a lot more organized than just my to-do list that I was doing in June and July. So my to-do list I did at the beginning of the month. And then I was writing out my days. And so this was fun, but it was time consuming. And so also another brain dump. So that only lasted a week, and then I was tired and I stopped. Then I didn't have enough space for the rest of my September expenses, and so I put them at the bottom of this page because my brain dump ended. I don't really like the organization of that, but oh well. And then we are in October of 2022. I still got a hella lot of pages, but I feel like I'm going to buy a new notebook to start fresh again for 2023, because it was really nice to have a fresh start from a journal. And because this has so many emotions and memories and hard feelings attached to it, I think I'm going to let go of this for 2023 and buy a new one again. Just because I don't think I can handle having this literal weight around with me at all times. But anyway, October 2022 is my favorite spread I've ever done. It's mushroom themed again, but I feel like my mushrooms are so nice. I don't know. I'm really, really proud of it. I think it looks really good. And I've put in a lot of time and effort into my drawings. I haven't finalized this, but October so far has been filled with an incredible amount of adventures. So I've got my expenses mapped out, I've got all my receipts, I just need to write them in. And then, this is how I did my October spread, which I like. I think this is my favorite way to do it from now on. I've got my positive things right here. I've got my days, and instead of writing out my tasks, I'm writing what happens throughout the day, in sentence form instead of like 8:30 woke up, 10:30 had breakfast. I simplify it. I kind of write keywords, and unless like something cool happens, which I will get to, I just write out my day. And then I did mushrooms instead of flowers for my moods. And then my to-do list I do weekly, and to try to get that out of the way. And again, got lots of mushrooms down here. I think they're so cute and they're so fun, and it's really nice for me to have an art escape kind of. Lord, this is literally longer than my 2 year ago video, but I tried to keep it concise. Anyway, so in October, again, it is October 2020th. An important date for me in a sense, but I haven't written in it since October 9th. So here we have my empty pages. But I went down to the south of France for 2 weeks because my friend was going, and our contracts ended at the same time, and so he invited me to come with him, and so I lived an incredible amount of fun adventures and amazing things. So I now, as you can see, my days have a lot of length to them, and I got really overwhelmed trying to do this every day because I was waking up and go. I did not have a lot of time for myself and a lot of time to journal. So throughout the rest of this month, for the next 10 days, I'm going to try to recap the rest of what I haven't been able to write, because this was such an amazing adventure, and I want to have that crystallized in my book and have that immortalized, basically. So yeah, then I have my to-do list again right here, and then I don't know if then that's the end of what I have so far. And then I guess another thing I can show you is some drawings my friends did. I always swatch my pens, and I feel like this is a really nice way to have what they look like when they're dry. So yeah, that's at the end of my book. And then also, I press flowers every once in a while when I can. I've got a lot more in my little black notebook because this is with me everywhere I go, so I've got lots of flowers in there. And then I've got all my stickers, which makes this a very big notebook. So that's the end of my bullet journal run through. I feel like I was gonna add more to the month of October, and then I got a little distracted. But yeah, so honestly, I don't know what more I can say. I'm thankful for my notebooks, and they keep me going, and they help me organize my life and organize my thoughts. And so yeah, if anyone you know or you personally are struggling with mental health or with difficult things, don't be afraid to message me. I'm an open book and always down to talk about anything. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you in 2 years, and we'll see if I have the courage to make another YouTube video at some point. Thanks for watching my bullet journal run through.